Alright guys, we're ready to go. Got my lunch, got my Waterade, got a route. Guys, we've got our packages here. We are on location. Have driven to Overland Park to deliver the packages. Let's get to it. Oh man, I'm about to make someone's day. The hollow. Dang, that looks like fun to build. Guys, so normally I don't always skateboard because I can usually park right in front of the house or directly across the street from it.
In about 500 left.
Anyway, for the skateboard to be a good option, it's usually because I've passed the house or
You
otherwise
arrived at your destination on the left.
Otherwise can't get to it. We'll try to set one of those up soon if we can, if I don't miss one. So I've got the perfect setup here. Parked by one of them, got two more down the street, so we're just gonna skateboard down to those. Unfamiliar with what Amazon Flex is, basically a contractor type position. So I'm not technically an employee of Amazon, which is kind of cool in a way. I mean, that's one of the reasons I can ride the skateboard.
Turn right on West 102 ND Street, then turn right on Dawson Street.
Every time I try to talk about it. So essentially, what I do is I find a route. You kind of have to fight other drivers for them. So they pop up and then they're just kind of up for grabs. So if you manage to get one of those, then
turn right on Concert Street.
First you celebrate because of course you've got a job at that point. And then you drive to the warehouse.
You have arrived at your destination on the right.
Where you pick up your packages. Usually about, 40, 50 packages or so, something like that. They metered out pretty well. It's about 4 hours worth of packages, and that's how much they pay you for, is 4 hours. You don't get any more than that, you don't get any less. If you finish early, hooray, you still get paid. If you go over, you do not get overtime. So, I don't know, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. I've had it work out before where basically you show up and they don't have any routes because they'll sometimes overbook and you just get to go home and you still get paid for the 4 hours. That's not very common. It's only happened to me twice, I think. But anyway, it's a pretty cool gig. The only bad thing about it is you really don't know where you're going. And by that I mean you show up to the warehouse, you start picking up some packages, and you don't know what city or what area you're going to until you pick up those packages and see what's on the label. So that's the downside. The other thing about Amazon Flex is you've got to use your own vehicle, and that means your own gas, wear and tear, miles, and all that stuff. They don't reimburse for any of that. They do have their own commercial policy, which is kind of cool. We get in Iraq, their policy is essentially like it's like they're leasing your vehicle for as long as your block is. So if you get in a wreck, depending on if it's your fault or not, they can front some of that bill. That's kind of interesting. You still are required to have insurance, of course.
In about 500 feet, turn left on Concert Street.
I'm having to like hold my camera up, it keeps sliding everywhere. Okay, that was pretty funny. I got out to deliver a package in an apartment. It was around the corner, so I just took the skateboard, went around, kind of went inside the apartment complex. The skateboard was nice for that. It was pretty funny though. Past this old guy, and the look on his face was hilarious. Like, what is this boy doing? He's on a skateboard, the package. But yeah, he kind of just like stood there, pivoted as I passed. It was pretty great.
Turn left on Concert Street.
Oh, dang, I missed my turn. It's like we're at another apartment complex. These can either be a pain in the butt or somewhat easy. They're either really nice and close together where you can just hit one right after the other, or they are impossible to find. It's also nice when you can just deliver everything to the leasing office, which that looks like what I want right there. Let's see if we can just deliver all of them right here. Okay, cool. So they let me deliver all 4 of those packages just in the office. I really like it when they let me do that. I also had a cool 10-minute conversation with the front desk attendant there. He was kind of asking about the Flex program for her son. I basically was telling her everything I already told you guys.
You have arrived at your destination on the left.
The pros, the cons, all that good stuff. Alright, so I am not familiar with this kind of neighborhood. They look like big houses, but they're kind of like apartments. I am very confused. Alright, so we've got 9 packages left and only 3 stops. I'm thinking some of these guys will have multiple packages. Less places for me to go. Okay, so that was the most confusing delivery I've ever done. I walked and drove around that little thing about 2 times. That's where the GPS about said it was. Couldn't find it. So this other place across the street with the numbers that were 1 off. I was looking for like 557, and there was 556 and 558 right next to each other. And then confusingly enough, it was at a 3rd building over there on its own for no reason at all. Alright, so there is 1 stop. I'm guessing it's an apartment complex because I've got, 5 packages left. Hopefully it's an easy one. We'll see. Information Center. So they were able to take all of the packages but 1, and that's just because they didn't have the guy in the system. The weird thing is the guy didn't put his apartment number on his address. He put it in the notes section, which is different. I almost didn't catch it. They can't take the package because they don't have the guy in the system, but they said I can run over and knock on his door, see if he's there or someone. Alright guys, that is it for today. Delivered all the packages, got to ride a little bit of skateboard, have some fun. Until next time, peace out.